been some okay music coming out.
Oh, Anderson .𝗏𝗏 dropped a nice song last night with Rick Ross.
I knew you'd catch that one. Yeah.
Fucking Drake dropped a new song. What was it, last night or this morning? That was off the hook.
I didn't hear no Drake songs. Woo. I did hear a new Burna Boy album that I was like, I don't really like that.
Who the fuck that is? Let's talk about Drake and Anderson .𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Why? They put out a song each.
They're tied.
What else do we need to say?
Rick Ross is on it.
I mean, we said that. That check is good. It's real good. It's got a nice beat. And it's also a beat, because I as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, Justin's going to be all over when we talk about this shit, because he loves his Rick Ross. He loves his beat selection. But I was like a little curious to see how it's going to go with
matter. What the fuck?
Anderson .𝗏𝗏𝗏, because his beats are not the normal like beat I would normally think of a Rick Ross jumping on, or Rick Ross feature jumping on. And so even when I heard this song, I was a little bit like, this is still not what I would expect Rick Ross to get on, but I'm excited to hear it. And he catches the second verse on that one. And he does his fucking thing. He does his thing. And even on that beat that you don't expect him to do it on, with this like little flowing, it's a little boppier kind of beat, little Anderson .𝗏𝗏𝗏 style. But then Rick Ross comes through and flows on it. Cut him off or something like that. Cut
him off.
Cut him all, or cut him off, or cut off in, or I don't know. It's three words. Cut him in.
Oh boy, that's that joint. Y'all need to get up on that. Cut him in.
Oh, there you go. That was a good one. But the Burna Boy album is...
Who the fuck is Burna Boy?
I don't know, man.
Stop saying it like it's just some dude everybody knows.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who it is who's not you, dude. This person's been on all kinds of shit, like as features and other people's albums.
Features? You name one feature this fool was on.
Man, I'm not good enough at this music. This is not my like preferred style of music that I'm going to listen to. But I see it come out. I know the name. I'm like, okay, let me give it a try. Maybe I like it. Maybe I won't. And at first I was like, nope, I don't like this. But then it came in with a little bit more of that like kind of Caribbean island sound in there.
Hold on. How come you got a Happy Camper, but I don't?
I asked you what you wanted.
I thought it was one or the other. I didn't know that it was like, oh, fucking this boy going to come with everything. Came all prepared for himself, didn't help me out. Can you believe this?
Well, the thing is, I tried to help you out. Here, I said, do you want one for like the top of the show, like the first beer to just like sip on, or do you want to just start with the one that we're talking about? And you said, give me the one we're talking about. So I gave you the one we're talking about.
Yeah, because I thought we were going to talk about the beer right away, but I didn't know you was going to drink a whole beer.
We never talk about the beer right away,
yeah,
ever.
We always talk about
it's always at the beginning, but it's never first, and that's why I always catch myself a beer to sip on, because you're always wanting to talk about some other shit or this and that. Then we talk about all this other stuff, and then we get to the beer because we get sidetracked. And so,
well, if you ever disrespect whatever I be talking about again. For those of you joining us, welcome to season 2 of The Lone Ranger vs. Tonto, aptly named by Eric. Now, what does season 2 means? It means that we took a break because we got jobs and shit, and COVID's crazy, and we were trying to survive. But it also means we know you're trying to survive, so we back. And what day is it? Speaking of, today is motherfucking the 14th. Is it really August 14th? Goddamn. August 14th, 2020. My name is Justin. By the way, to my right, your left, that's going to be Steven. Across from us, producing always Eric.
Yo, this smells like Lysol.
What does?
The mic.
Oh, nice.
That'll happen.
Safe. Live, laugh, Lysol, right?
Yeah.
And it's the motherfucking Lone Ranger vs. Tonto up in this hoe.
Oh, it's good to hear that. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It feels good to say it, you know?
Yeah. I'm happy to be back. Happy to see both of you in this setting. I guess I haven't even seen y'all outside of this setting even. Like you said, we've been pretty busy trying to get some fun in, trying to get some business in, all of the above. So appreciate the patience, y'all.
No doubt. But by the time you're seeing this, you would have seen all the other ones we had not done yet. In the meantime, though, there's been a few crazy things that's going on. What are you thinking about today, Steven?
Oh man, I mean, there's so much going on. There's one thing I did want to ask you guys about to see if you saw. Did you guys see the video of the explosion in Beirut?
I saw a gang of videos of the explosion in Beirut.
Terrifying.
You didn't? Oh my goodness. I watched that shit before all the news dropped on what the fuck happened, where I was just like about to go to bed and saw Twitter and it was like these fucking videos. And there was no like explanation except for like they knew that there was that chemical over there. No other explanation. And that fucking explosion was that was the most violent like explosion I think I've ever seen recorded outside of the atomic bomb recordings that, you saw in middle school and high school, and they showed you that fucking shit in the World War II unit. Yeah. But Jesus, to see that in like this day and age, that explosion was incredible. And now we see like the entire the Beirut government all stepped down. 300,000 people left homeless in a town of like 1.2 million people, or of a city of like 1.2 million people. So they're talking almost a third, a fourth of the people there left homeless because of this blast. And
all while going through like some economic like nightmares and shit too.
Yeah. It's I mean the blast was one thing. The like aftermath and like just the exposure of like everything going on and the corruption in Lebanon and all that shit. This is going around the entire world, but a giant explosion of fucking chemical fertilizer / bomb material really puts a fucking spotlight on a place when, I feel like they got pretty lucky with how many people actually were killed by it, but the number of people being displaced or hurt by it is equally like, fucking sad as shit. But yeah, I wanted to see if you guys saw that. I was going to send it to you that night because I was just so like, what the fuck? But then when I realized where it was, and the next morning they were pretty well covered, I figured y'all would have saw it by then.
I saw it before, like we saw it, like there wasn't any explanations. I was like, how fucked are we? Because if that was like somebody attacking somebody, woo, that would have been.
Well, there were some
of 2020.
There were some before, like reports came out of like big reports of like the story of why those chemicals were there. There were reports of like people saying that drones were flying out of there, and pictures online of where you just see like a black dot flying out of the rubble, and they're like, it's fucking drones. But that was my first thought too. Was just like, if somebody knew about that, it's been there for years, and if somebody just knew about it and was like, hey, if we want to hit them and just like rock their shit, how hard would it be to just go get a drone to do that? Which I see the logic there, but also there are also powers around there that definitely want to see Lebanon.
You mean with like a drone like this food takes pictures with?
Yeah.
They ain't fucking setting off no bombs with no drones.
I don't think they're setting off. I mean, imagine the size of something that would have to be
chemicals with no drones.
I've seen fireworks be like attached to a drone like that.
Yeah, fuck the whole shit up.
Shooting up like the neighborhood.
I don't think it would actually like be shooting things, right? It would more just be, it would just drop something, right? And the precision of it just dropping something that, but I've also heard like reports of people saying that the docks were burning earlier in the day. Like, and this was like at a dock, and that the docks were burning earlier in the day, that there was already a problem, which is why we have so much video of this, because people expected, they were like, what the fuck? They saw the burning. There was other shit going on. That's why, like, how else would we get fucking videos of the full thing unless there was a precursor, which there was. The docks were burning. People in Beirut were making a bigger deal of it because that didn't reach the world. The docks burning, that wouldn't reach the world anywhere if docks were burning somewhere, But then when people are seeing this and recording it, being like, oh, and then that's why we have all these this footage of it, because people knew something was going down. And so that's, I mean, in the same way, it could just like, if somebody knew about all those chemicals there, because that was an incredible amount of destructive material just sitting there for years. And if they knew about it and how quickly it could be to trigger, it could be something that is more than just like the bullshit mishandling of a government. But it also very well was just a fucking mishandling of the government, letting really dangerous chemicals sit in a place for years unchecked.
Yep, no doubt. Definitely an accident waiting to happen. Them fucking videos were crazy. Did you see how deep on what kind of internet do y'all look at?
Xfinity. The one that's available from Xfinity.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, is there a different one?
Yeah. That's not what I meant. So I know exactly what internet you look at. So what about you, Eric? What kind of internet you look at?
Sometimes I get on the like live leaks like side of the internet.
Did you see the collage on live leaks for the found footage?
Mm-mm.
From the people that were
I know
like
what all
closer.
these words mean. but in the order y'all are putting them in, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. That's how I knew you wouldn't know.
Oh,
what
dude,
we're
that's
talking
exactly what the internet.
about.
I'm like, fuck you.
I done did told you so. I knew, boy. Shit. I
Well,
could tell
because
by the
you
way
like
talking
get
about it.
onto like parts of the internet that I'm unfamiliar with.
Outside of Facebook, yeah, and KW.com. So check this
Those
out.
are the only websites I go to.
That's what I'm saying. Outside of that,
Where else would I go?
I don't know. There's a whole internet out there, and in that internet, there's videos that they don't allow on these normal old websites. But they're perfectly legal. They just don't allow them against the terms of services. While you go to these other websites, they don't have them kind of terms of services. They have different terms of services. And Live Leak, one of those. And they had a collage of found footage. And that shit was wild. It was a few of them. I don't know how many.
Of
but
just
a
like the
few.
explosions and like the aftermath of the
We're talking about
like the ones in the
people that were
apartments
close.
and shit.
People
I
that were
haven't seen
walking
any
down the
close.
street.
Oh, really?
People that like this fucking the shit
Whoosh.
explodes, but they try to turn, the fucking shockwave hits, everything goes, phone messes up. One, you can even see homegirl fly over the phone, so you don't know if you even made it. Most of these people are assumed dead, to be honest.
Yeah, there's like
That's-
3,000
that-
people died, I think.
But
right?
it was all
Is
their
that number
footage.
right or 300? Am I off?
I
by
think it was
magnitude?
300, but it was
I might
like
have been off by
3,000
magnitude.
injured.
Yeah,
It was their footage.
Yeah, I mean
And it
that's
was-
most of the
ooh,
footage
I saw one
was
that
all-
was like a building across from that one, somebody like on the roof. You just
Oh,
see
no
the
shit.
phone flying.
Yeah. That
the
one was
craziest what I
crazy.
saw was one from inside one of them apartments and one of those big buildings that just has all glass windows, like a luxury apartment. Somebody fucking
Oh, yeah.
and then you just see all that shit, all the glass. All that's why so many people are fucking homeless right now is because all them people who are in those high rises, they don't have a place to live anymore because their entire structure was blown out outside of the foundation of the structures. Right? It's all the like. Not soft, but glass is a fucking liquid, you know? It's a softer material than what the foundation's made out of and just fucking blew it out of buildings. And
Is glass a liquid?
yes, it is.
That just fucked me up. Like,
Well,
I
think
know-
about it.
Yeah, like I know it is.
Where
but,
does
like,
glass come from? How do you make glass?
By
What do you melt?
That's mom?
Melting sand. I get it, but
And
it's
sand
like,
is rocks, which is the solid.
yeah,
Which
but
is the
then
dad.
And you heat up the solid to get a liquid, right?
Sure.
So to get that phase change, you have to add energy or
Yeah,
subtract energy to phase change.
then it solidifies.
But it
So that doesn't make it a solid again?
Oh no. Glass is just a very, very, very slow moving liquid. Like if you look at the glass of like very old cathedrals.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'll be heated if that liquid, let that liquid out that motherfucker. I'll be heated.
It won't though. It takes hundreds of years to glass to just move like a droplet of water would move quickly in seconds, right? It takes glass years and centuries to move. So what I was saying, like old cathedrals, you can see where the like old stained glass doesn't look like much different, except it just has a little bit of a pull towards gravity, right? Because it is a liquid just moving. It's a liquid, like almost like slush is a liquid, right? Like that slush is this, it's not quite a solid. It almost seems in between, but just in the phases of what it is, glass is just a very slow
All right,
moving
you lost
liquid.
me with the slush, but yeah. That's
Slush
just
isn't a
fucking
perfect
wild, dude.
analogy, but it's just an in between, right?
I
Like
heard
slush
you.
is an in
Yeah,
between between the solid of ice
Yes.
and the liquidity of water.
Yes, got it. Yes, sir. Definitely. Ice is crazy. Glass is wild. That blows my mind.
Liquidity of Water sounds like a dope name for like an album.
It was actually the name of my band in high school.
Oh, I like that.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Hey, you want to talk about this beer?
Sure, let's talk about this beer. Hold up, I haven't finished my other beer. So, while I slam this one, did y'all see the video I shared of Neil deGrasse Tyson explaining the timelessness of photons?
No, I didn't see that.
It came up. I didn't watch it.
Blew my fucking mind, fool. Blew
Give
my
your mind
mind.
to blowy.
So look. So he explains real quick, of course, through the theory of relativity, right? The faster something goes, the slower time goes. It's measured. We know this, right? Eventually, mathematically, if you were to get to the speed of light, time stops,
Which is C.
right? Now, a photon, the particle of light, exists at the speed of light.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't speed up to the speed of light. It exists there.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, if you are the proton existing at the speed of light and you have a watch on, it never ticks.
Sure.
You leave whatever it is that whatever star it is, and you hit the surface instantaneously.
If you're moving at the speed of light.
As perceived as a photon.
At the speed of light, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
photons exist at the speed of light. They don't move slower than that.
Well, I'm just thinking, what if there's something that
Photons.
moves faster?
All right, sure, but we're talking about
I
photons.
know we're talking about photons.
If something moves faster, then you're talking about going backwards. But see, the point, the thing with going backwards is mathematically they predicted, and there's all kinds of evidence that keeps coming out to support the idea that there is an alternate dimension that is simultaneous to ours, like right, and also, what do you say when it's right next to it? But it's also it's simultaneous in time, adjacent, but it's running the opposite direction in time. That time runs the opposite direction there.
Whoa.
It's crazy.
That shit is crazy.
What the fuck was all that shit you just did? I thought you was having a stroke.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you see him?
There's a whole Benjamin Button dimension.
Boy went on.
It sounds like it. Sounds like it. Benjamin Button dimension. The BB.
BBD.
Do you guys believe it? A multiverse kind of theory of the, existence?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like that's well in line with that theory.
Mm-hmm.
Just another dimension that, I guess, defining the dimension of its time working the opposite of ours is pretty interesting. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you finish that beer? You said, wow, you talked about that. You were going to finish that beer.
Well, I thought you was
Oh,
gonna
shit,
talk
we were in
about
a
it.
different dimension when you said that, I think. And in that dimension, you finished the beer. In this one, you must not have.
That's true. That's true. It's a different timeline.
That's the fucking tough part about multiple dimensions. You don't even know.
That's different timelines. That's a different thing. Now, see, that's a theory that a different timeline, because there is infinite dimensions where all this is going on, but there's just slight changes, right? In that sense, the theory is that every single time you make a decision, you create alternate timelines of you existing where you made the other decision.
In these other dimensions, right?
So,
but then everybody has their own.
No. You're creating a new timeline that didn't exist prior to you making a decision. So before that decision, it did not exist. But once you decided that you were going to do one thing over another, you then create a split in the timeline, and you create another timeline that goes off and does the other thing. And then if you don't do no deciding, you don't have no timelines.
Well, the thing is, like, where do you define a decision? Because I think we do a lot of things that we decide that we don't actually consciously decide. And a lot of the conscious decisions that we make, are influential in our life, but even more so are unconscious decisions that we do make, but they're just unconscious, but we make them in our daily lives and our habits. But it's like, I don't know. Those theories are hard for me to like hear, because it's where is the fork actually put in the road of these timelines?
When you make the decision.
But what is a decision? Like when
you do something when there's an opposite that you would have done otherwise.
But every moment in your life, you can always do something different.
Conscious decisions, fool.
I mean, conscious.
We're not talking about
decisions.
subconscious decisions. Since when is anything the subconscious does defined as a decision?
You woke up this morning by some kind of
but you don't. But we don't. We don't call it that. We're like, you didn't decide to do it. It just happened to you.
Sure.
Some people, they get
So
pissed off
does
because
the
it happens to them
universe
so much.
have this,
They
like,
try to
dial?
decide. They try to decide to go back to sleep, and this shit don't work, because that's not the kind of decisions that were made. Subconscious doesn't make decisions like that. When we're talking about decisions, or you making a decision, we're talking about the conscious part of your decision. I've decided that there is option A and option B.
I just don't see how the universe can differentiate between a decision that you consciously made and an unconscious universe watching you make unconscious decisions. You make unconscious decisions all the time.
We're not talking
you
about
don't know
those,
them.
fool.
But how
We're
does
not
the universe
talking about
differentiate between them? That's the thing, is like we're talking about a
Because
differentiation
we're conscious
between two
beings,
things that
boy. You never done DMT.
But the universe-
That's why you think that you don't have no communication with the universe. You do DMT one time, you'll think entirely differently about how your brain communicates with other dimensions. Holla at your peoples now.
maybe so. Drink this fucking beer. Did you finish your shit yet?
Hell no, I started blazing before you started yelling at me. I wanted to yell back.
The whole thing was just to get you to finish that goddamn Happy Camper, so we can talk about it too hard
Bomb
today.
to-
It is bomb. Those Happy Campers, Santa Fe Brewing Company, definitely something
Shout
to
out to
check
Santa
out.
Fe.
They get some good distribution up here in Colorado, so check them out. Santa Fe Distribution or Santa Fe Brewing Company. This IPA is fucking top notch,
Fire.
and we're drinking another IPA today from another part of the United States of America. This one's from Bell's, and Bell's. Yeah, that's the brewery. Bell's got a lot of respect for them. They make great beer overall, but this beer, I remember one time when you were real angry about beer, you yelled at me about favorite beers or best beers. That's what it was, best beers. What's the best beer? And I mean, there's no real good answer for what's the best beer because it's so.
I didn't yell at you because you didn't have an answer for the best beer.
Yeah, you did.
I then asked you an elaborate situation to give you a chance to think of a good beer that you'd suggest to somebody, and you gave me nothing. You gave us 0 suggestions. It took me like 5 minutes of you just saying how you didn't know, and I eventually got a little emotional.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about there, but
I got excited.
if I had, well, so for me, when I go to the liquor store and I don't want to just drink PBR, if I want to drink a beer that tastes like something that's not just like PBR or watery like bubbles and a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of grains, it's delicious. I love it. Modelo's, all that shit. But if I want something a little different, this is the beer that I'm always reaching for, and I have like a personal connection to this beer. It wasn't available in Colorado for a long time, and we finally got it like 3 years ago because they only distributed to the east side of the country, and then they moved west to the Mississippi.
There we go.
A couple years ago, and we started getting this shit. And this beer, I mean, just anywhere you can get it now, just about anywhere. And it's one of my fucking favorite beers. It's with one hop. It's an IPA. It's just one of the cleanest, easiest drinking like IPAs that I just fucking love. Oh, yeah, I mean the hop hits hard, but
No. Is the hop hip?
always.
Up to date with the kids. Hip.
Yeah,
Up to date.
hip, definitely up to date. You guys should try this beer.
Does it lie?
Do those hips lie? Or no?
Or no? This is good beer though. It's been so long I forgot how to properly drink beer. I gotta smell it first.
Fuck all that bullshit.
This shit smells great.
Gotta let it breathe for a second.
It does smell pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And one of the craziest things about this beer is that they do use one hop, and the hop they use is a Columbus hop.
Columbus, I don't fuck with that at all. Fuck that motherfucker.
Well, you'll be happy to know.
Tight.
You'll be
And then
happy
you
to
just
know.
told me Columbus.
You'll be happy to know that the Columbus
fuck?
hop goes by multiple names, also the Zeus hop or TTZ.
Why
I
don't you
think
call it that? Why the fuck would you run up in this crib talking about Columbus?
because it's the most well-known name for the hop.
You just disrespected everything I care about.
Why would you
wrong with
fucking
you?
say that? Columbus?
I'm fucking Christopher Columbus here.
Yeah, fuck Christopher Columbus.
Whoa. Freaked me out, sorry. Anyways, it's all right.
I love this beer. Always will. Always will buy it. If I just don't know what the fuck to get at the liquor store, I can't make a decision. This is always the go-to. Like, always makes me happy. It's got a fish on it. It's named after trout.
I ain't mad at the
The
fish.
two-hearted trout up in Michigan, which is like
definitely ain't mad at the trout, my dude. But it kind of tastes like there's trout in it.
it kind of tastes.
like-
It has like almost like a kind of salinity to it, where that's like your water profile,
Salinity, my ass. Look, you see what this can look like? Anybody on YouTube, look at what that can look like, or we'll post it on Instagram and shit. And whatever it looks like is in this can It looked like they put some of that juice in the beer.
And not in a bad way. I don't think
No,
that,
it's not in a good way.
What?
There's no good way.
This
to
beer
add
is fucking
fish.
fantastic.
There's no good way to add a fish.
Well, I think they did it. I do hear you.
I mean, not into a beer. I'll eat fish. Let's go. We're gonna grill it. Yeah, but I don't want its juices in my beer.
There aren't any fucking fish juices in this beer.
It looked like it.
It looked like
It smelled like it. And it tastes like it.
Oh man, I don't think so, dude. But I do hear you, and I think that flavor. Just hear me out. I think that flavor probably comes from the water that they have in Michigan, right?
Yeah,
because
fish water.
Water is most beer, mostly, and a lot of the flavor is not made from the water, but definitely the different pieces of all the like fucking dissolved solids inside of the water in Michigan are different than the ones here. We're blessed with this what is it called, the RO system that we get our water from, but up there they don't have that shit, so they're brewing with what they have, and they might even be adjusting the water profile.
Like shit.
It doesn't taste like shit, Justin. Take another drink.
It tastes like fish shit.
Motherfucker have fish shitting in his mouth. He fishes too much, y'all.
Y'all ever been fishing, and especially fishing for trout or something like that, right? And like you've been using power bait the whole time, and the power bait it just ain't hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like you haven't got no hits, right?
Pour a little of this on
So you decide, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play with some salmon eggs, right? And you get them weird little they're not real salmon eggs, they're just those little red things. And there's like that juice that comes in it. And then you put those salmon eggs where the power bait used to be. Now that combination, you throw that bitch out there and you catch a fish. And then when you catch that fish, you cut its face off. You just right there, and you leave all the power bait and the salmon eggs, and you blend that shit up. And then, I don't know, throw about a teaspoon in each beer.
Fuck, if that's true. That's how they make this shit, eh? Good on them for being able to put out so much beer, which means they catch a lot of fish. So good on them for catching a lot of fish. But if they can make that taste good, you should get this beer, because for me, this shit is top notch. Fucking, if you want to drink an IPA that...
All that Santa Fe Brewing. Get the Happy Camper IPA. Fucking flamethrower's delight. This would be cool if it didn't have no motherfucking fish juice in it.
Bro, I think that's just you having a fucked up palate that been eating too many boxed meals your whole life.
Boxed meals my whole life? First of all, don't be mad at me because I was broke. All right? I don't want to hear nothing about boxed meals. First of all, they last a long time.
I didn't grow up on nothing different.
And we was broke.
I just had to expand my palate.
And second of all, we had potatoes every night. So fuck you.
Yeah, really developing up your fucking tasting profile and your taste buds with them potatoes.
Oh yeah.
But I'm saying I didn't grow up no different, but I did have to learn how to like taste things differently and really hone in my palate of what things taste like, how things taste, and how you can identify taste in this shit. It's not just like overnight you're like, oh yeah, this is just
we've been
fucking
doing
good.
This for a gang. What episode are we on?
Man, you never
And
try
we started
and taste
this
anything.
on episode what?
You say that like all the shit tastes. I mean, I love your descriptions. I gotta say that, but
Not this one. You're fucking heated. You have an emotional attachment to this one. You acting like you brewed this one personally and you didn't tell me, and I'm over here talking shit about it, and you're defending it as if like, oh, I want to tell him so bad that it was me. You were waiting for me to be like, man, this is delicious. And you're like, you guys think so? It was me who brewed this one. And we were going to be like, oh, Steven, you're fucking sweet. That's how you're defending this shit. Fuck this trash ass, trout ass beer. I fuck with trout. I like eating trout. I don't want to drink it in my beer. Period.
just for the record, there ain't no trout in this beer. Justin's got a fucked up palate. He sees a fish.
Look,
this motherfucker's admitted
it's
before.
on the can.
He sees some shit on the can, and that's what he tastes on the can.
Yeah,
and
I know.
He's admitted that before. He
I
sees a
got a-
strawberry.
I
He's
got
got
a
to taste the
banana
strawberry.
bread.
He sees a fucking fish. He's got to taste the
I
fish.
got
He
a
sees
banana bread beer, and it had a banana on the outside. Bitch, tasted like banana. It was off the fucking hook, my
Ooh,
guy.
I got a follow up to that if you want to hear, because I told you about that shit before, and I got a little bit more information on that. if you want a little bit more background on that banana beer and the way that because remember how I told you it was brewed differently,
Eagle
marketed
Company
way differently.
And something about England, and you was hating. You was over there being racist against your own peoples.
I don't know if England's my own people's. Maybe.
I'll tell you right now, England and Italy, wherever your peoples are, that's like a block away from each other, Phil. They're all the same. They're like right over there.
I mean, that's at least a state away.
A
American
little
terms.
ass state.
No, a big
A
ass
New
state.
England state.
For the math.
A big ass state.
I'm not
How
arguing
big
about
is
geography.
fucking- Yo, England is like fucking the size of Arizona.
Talking about the distance between them.
I'm talking about how much space. And theirs is an island, so it's like this. Boom, bang. Right across the street. France, you go across that. What is that? Like half of New Mexico. You go across that real quick. Boom, right there. You're in Italy. Boom, bang. You're in the boot. It don't take that long at all, boy. It's an 8-hour drive. Yeah, somebody in Wales is going to be like, fuck you. Sorry. I don't know.
My
I've
only
never
goal in
been
this podcast is really just to get Justin to do British accents. And so, success in season 2 came early.
Colorado is 1.17 UKs.
there. 1.17.
Yeah.
What's the distance? If you were going from London to Rome,
Look, yeah, put it
that
in
distance,
Google for
the
a
biggest
drive.
cities in both them places.
How long
I'm
does it
guessing
take to drive?
that's an over 30-hour drive.
No, that's
over
18
30
hours,
dude. That's
dude.
far. Rome.
18 hours,
18
bud.
hours, 9 minutes.
Come on, boy. I'm like a motherfucking human GPS. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Gangsta positioning service. Know what I'm talking about?
But also, it takes. Do you know how long it takes to drive across one state in America?
Holla at your peoples. How long does it take to drive across one state? Yeah, about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. So when I said one
depending
state
on
and it's
which way you're
18
going.
hours, I think I'm still
You just
right.
said
And that
30. You were off by 12 hours, my
okay,
guy.
you're right.
You,
You,
had an
were off by a
opportunity.
factor of 4 states. When I,
I
said
was
one
off
state,
by a
you were
factor of 0 when it came to how long the drive was.
sure, but the distance is the more important value here that we were actually talking about, not the
You know what-
driving
you know what's
time in a
18
car
hours
that can
from
go
here?
75
Look
fucking
up
miles
Coeur
in 1
d'Alene,
hour.
Idaho.
Don't
Coeur
look at
d'Alene,
Coeur
Idaho is an 18-hour drive. No, to be honest, that's even 12, I think. We still got another 6 hours after that.
18-hour drive. Seattle, I think, is an 18-hour drive from here. 18-hour drive.
Check Seattle.
Think,
It's amazing you say that.
Baton Rouge,
Baton
I think,
Rouge.
or New Orleans, I think, is about 18 hours from here. I think.
Coeur d'Alene is 15.
Coeur d'Alene's 15
Coeur d'Alene.
15 hours. Mm-hmm. Coeur d'Alene, boy, that ain't shit. Look at the
it's
distance
far,
on a
though.
map.
San
That ain't
Diego
Thousands of miles.
nothing.
San Diego's 18.
18 for San Diego. Ow.
Thousands of miles. Thousands of miles. And these are different countries. This is a different fucking thing. These are way different cultures.
How
way
long
different
is it?
countries. Your
4-hour flight,
original,
my guy.
your original
A
be like,
3-hour
those are your
flight. It's
homies.
2020. It's a 3-hour flight. And you don't got homies in somewhere else?
What?
That are like, boom.
You know, I'm sure that I do. I'm sure I could even be completely half British, and I would have no idea. My mother was adopted, so I don't got no idea what her heritage is. So I only have the heritage of
just talking
the other
shit.
side of my family. No, I hear you. I hear you.
Just talking shit. What about you, Eric? What's going on with your life? What you want to talk about?
Hold on. We just got the yellow. I need to pee. I think we should take a commercial break.
All
Eric's gonna play some cool, like, little mood music right here.
Hell
Gonna
yeah.
get us through this next, or get y'all through this next 30 seconds while I go take a piss.
We'll call it like 15 seconds. Stick around for 15 seconds, and Eric can have some like a cool ass shit. Take it away. Let's start back. All right, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
Clap, clap, tap, tap. What do we do?
Hey, welcome back. Before the break, I was prompted to come up with some that was interesting or has been on my mind. The only thing that I can really figure out, kind of relating to beer, Steven, do you know why hand sanitizer smell like straight up like alcohol?
Because it is. Yeah, that's it.
Thank
It
you guys
is.
for coming back to this episode. It has been fun. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, that's it. Boom. Because it's just alcohol mixed with like aloe vera or some other like gel like compound bullshit. And like I've had some that straight up smells like tequila. Like
Me
it
too.
was tequila.
Fire.
You get that shit from the corner store that selling it for like $4 a bottle. You get that cheap
Fuck
stuff.
yeah.
It works though because it's just whatever way that they could get ethanol alcohol, just this agent into something that you can rub on your hands. Because if you just rub tequila on your hands, it evaporates too quickly to like really like do the effect of what a hand sanitizer is looking for. So you add this agent where normally it's like aloe. That's like the natural one. But I think you can find ones that have some other kind of like goopy compound bullshit that just makes it seem like aloe, right? But then that just is just essentially hydrating it, so it takes longer for it to evaporate when it's on your hands because you want it to evaporate the water, right? That's what you're doing, and the alcohol's killing all those fucking germs while you're rubbing it on your hands, and the like that other compound is just making it so that you're just being able to spread it over your hands a little easier, and it has a chance to kill all that shit before the alcohol just evaporates, because that's really what alcohol is doing when you're rubbing it on your hands. It's evaporating. Aloe slows it down, or that other compound slows it down. So that's why, because it is just booze. They literally can just, any place making booze could have just said, hey, we're going to just jam all this shit that we normally don't sell because it's not drinkable. Because there's a lot of ethanol parts when you distill alcohol. The stuff that comes out first can like kill you. The stuff that comes out last can like make you blind. It's what's in between is what you actually drink. Because when you're boiling off all that shit, the stuff that boils off first can really fuck you up, right? Because it's the like more volatile compounds that are in there that when they get heated up, they go first. So you can't take them. You can't distill those because what distills out can be dangerous. That's the heads, right? And then the bottom part is called the tails, I think. And then the middle part, I think you call the heart. I think that's the terminology. I'm not a distiller, but it's all in there. But
I would have called it the kidney, but go on.
all that shit involves ethanol. So if you can't drink the heads and the tails, right, and you're only drinking the hearts, you can easily just take those two pieces that aren't meant for consumption, but just meant to rub on your hands and kill things. Oh, they can definitely kill things because they're full of ethanol, right? They're full of the dangerous ones that we can't drink or consume, which is, so then they can just take, I'm pretty sure, a lot of the byproduct that they had before and mix it with this other shit and then sell it as sanitizer. And so even all the places that got all their fucking their distilling licenses to essentially make these fucking bubbly like Trulies and all that shit, because you had to get a distilling license for that. A lot of those places probably easily transitioned a lot of their shit that they were like, fuck, we got to do this, into just distilling fucking grain alcohol to put into sanitizers, right? There's I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen so many pictures and different like examples of hand sanitizer being sold in bottles that just look exactly like all the cheap liquor bottles that you see at the bottom shelf of this fucking store when you were a kid trying to figure out which vodka you're going to bring to the party, right? And it's the same bottles. They just put a fucking on the top of it so that you can squirt out the hand sanitizer, and they filled it halfway with vodka and halfway with fucking whatever goop it is, and they called it sanitizer.
That is crazy. I
Kind of to do with beer.
the one that so the time that I really got that smell was the hand sanitizer that 𝗪ices uses with the brewery.
Yep.
That one's just straight up tequila.
Yep.
Yeah. You also mentioned Goopy Compound, and that sounds like a great mixtape.
Also, the name of one of my bands when I was in high school, strangely enough.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
I tell that joke to 𝗹𝗯𝗃𝗍𝗯 all the time, and he's so fucking tired of it. Like, he called me out on that joke. And it's obviously a joke. You know, he says some ridiculous shit. I tell him it's like my fucking nickname in high school or some shit. And then now he's like, Dad, you've told me that your nickname has been blah, 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 blah. Your bands have been blah, 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 blah. And now you're telling me the albums of these bands? And I'm like, you're goddamn right, son. But,
see, what we got to
forever
do
that
is
joke.
like find pictures of younger you and Photoshop them into like random garage bands.
That's what I'm talking about. I was in some bands too. I was in a couple bands, and so there's some real deal life pictures there. Yeah, I used to play some instruments, Justin. You seem surprised that I was in bands.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. What did you play?
Bass. I played bass in a band. I played drums in a band. I played drums in a kind of a band, I guess, with Mr. Glasspool. We did some talent show shit. I played drums for that shit. And I played bass in a couple of different bands. And then Yeah, that's it. Mostly bass in a couple different bands. I used to play bass a lot when I was in high school. Played for a church band, played for like a band of friends, played for another band.
Sorry, I lost it. I was trying to prepare for that trout drink, and then I drank it, and it was awful. But it's gone now. So I got that going for me.
Yeah, we can hear you stop complaining about it.
I got that going for me. Anyway.
Doing okay over there?
Nah, you know what I'm saying? Your boy's ligaments out here.
Ligaments.
You know what I'm saying? We got some ligament.
Oh, well, how
ligament
about this potential vice president we have on the table that just got announced? What do you think of that?
How do you say it? I've always said Kamala Harris. Is that wrong?
It doesn't sound wrong to me.
Somebody said
Kamala?
Kamala. Like that. I was like, huh. Kamala, that was how I always said it.
I don't know what the...
Anyways, you're talking about Kamala Harris, huh?
She's a U.S. senator now running to be vice president, but some people still don't know how to say her first name. In 2016, she released a video about it with some help from some little friends.
It's not Kamala. It's not Kamala. It's not Kamala. It's Kamala. Kamala Harris.
That was what I said, Kamala.
Kamala.
Or I heard somebody else say, Kamala. Oh, so Kamala Harris?
Yeah,
Fuck
Kamala
that
Harris.
bitch.
Why you say that?
Because
That's the first woman vice president nominee, first black vice president nominee.
Sure.
Sure.
Is that why she was nominated vice president?
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot to do with it, actually, is those two things.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Look,
Not in a good way. Not in a good way at all.
People would be like, her last 10 years.
Not that it's not a win, but it's not a good way.
I'd be like, man, look, man, to be honest, I really don't even want to talk about it. People can get pissed off at me. But look,
Man, nobody's going to get pissed off at you.
first of all,
Except for me.
First of all, she was the popo. Second of all, as the popo, she wasn't the popo. She was just district attorney, whatever. What do they call that? What she was?
I mean, she was high-fiving the popo, I feel like.
She was up there, and man, withheld evidence against death row inmates trying to get convictions. And you could say that, oh, you're talking about since then, because after 2010, she got rid of that job. And as a politician, she needed to have a different image because that's the way politicians work. But you know what tells me about your character? The shit you did. I'll tell you right now, if I did some shit 10 years ago, who the fuck is telling me that it's just nothing?
I mean, there's still people out there hating on you now because of shit you did 10 years ago.
Of course, but 10 years is clear. You want to make sure people try to keep stuff for at least 15, 20. When it's 15 years, you're like, damn, that's long ago. Don't even trip. It's been some time. But 10 years ago, half of motherfuckers would be like, ugh. Of course, cool motherfuckers are like, hey, man, whatever. But half of motherfuckers like, for
Ain't
real?
no cops like that. Just
Shit.
say it.
Those motherfuckers, what are you talking
They'll
about?
hold a grudge.
Yeah, definitely. But that's not what I was saying. In any case, Westside.
Yeah. Well, not way. I mean, Westside definitely for. Now I'm going to say her name wrong because I heard it too many times. But Senator Harris. I think it was. I think it really did have to do with just that it was this. Once again, this kind of neoliberal push to show face, show that they're doing what should be done with no actual impact. You know, and I think the I don't know. Let's fast forward, right? What if Joe wins? And come on. And now we have her as our vice president. We also have, I don't know if y'all remember, but we impeached the president of the United States before all this shit all happened. He was impeached, but he's still there, you know, because of all this other shit that happened. But I do think there's some animosity built up in the Republican Party about impeachment and that they're really, really hot on wanting that to happen, maybe. But I think this also has to do with them like squashing that impeachment rebuttal, because I think a lot of them were ready to do that. And now, what is their option to impeach Joe Biden, and who becomes president? And so I think that's a little bit of a safeguard. I think the woman vote in general was a safeguard, because he came out pretty early saying like, hey, I'm going to pick a woman. And so I think that was like safeguarded pretty well right there. Just that impeaching a Democratic president to put a woman in the White House would be a tough decision for them to want to impeach, right? So I think that was a safeguard in general. But Kamala Harris, the first black Kamala Harris.
Is that it?
I think so.
Fuck, I don't remember. I know it's not Kamala. That's what I used to say. Anyway.
It's hard. Names are hard.
Names are hard.
My name's hard.
Life is hard.
It's not Kamala. It's not Kamala.
Nope.
It's Kamala.
Kamala.
I mean, Susan Rice. That's who I thought was going. That's her name, right?
Rice, I think, is right. I'm not sure on the first name.
Look it up.
Look it up. I need to hear.
Susan Rice, former U.S. ambassador to the United States. Susan Elizabeth Rice.
Look, man. I don't give a fuck who became the vice presidential nominee. I was fucking with Bernie. They could have made Bernie the vice presidential nominee. You could have made Tupac the vice presidential nominee. And
Can he run from Cuba?
I'll tell you right now that I am not voting for Joe Biden sniffing little girls' ass.
I'll tell you right now.
Little girls' ass, but sniffing little girls dash ass motherfuckers that be sniffing little girls on motherfucking ass.
Blue no matter who though.
Oh, blue no matter who is
Fuck
not how
that
we
shit.
fuck.
I ain't blue. I'm West Side. I mean, what you want?
That's it, Justin. That's why I love you. That's why we do this shit, because that's exactly it, man. I'm just disappointed in this blue no matter who. They think we're going to vote for them. I think you're in agreement where I wasn't going to vote for Joe Biden before his VP nomination. There was maybe a 0.01% chance my decision was going to be changed based on their VP pick, right? If they would have picked Bernie, it might have persuaded. It might not even. I don't even know if he would have picked Bernie as his VP. I might still not even vote for Joe Biden.
That might have been a good balance, though.
I mean, the thing is, I just don't believe it. I don't believe the Democratic Party in general, because this entire thing has convinced me that the Democratic Party was way more concerned with Bernie Sanders becoming a nominee than Trump becoming the president again, right? They didn't. Yeah. I mean, what they wanted to know was to make sure that Bernie didn't win, because they had fucking some good candidates on the Democratic ticket for Democrats, right? Not me, but Democrats. Pete Buttigieg. All of these other motherfuckers on there that they could have run. There's so many excuses that are easy for Joe Biden just to let him fucking play it out, because if he loses, how many excuses do they fucking have to just say why the Democrats lost? Joe Biden, this, that. Then now, also on top of the like the niceness of this bullshit is cool with the Democrats, but then when they lose and they want to blame somebody, where are they going to point the blame when they fucking have this, when this VP pick comes out? Because I guarantee it's not going to be out of the fucking mouths of all these people who want to show the Democratic Party as this, decaying system and racist and bullshit, or just want to, demolish all of their attributes in any way. But there's so many excuses on why they're, I think the term is lame duck. You guys familiar with that term? Like a lame duck, where you throw some shit out there that's just like, it's not really even fucking meant to work.
That duck is my homie. He's cool as fuck.
No, man, that duck is
lame. That's not nice.
Damn, y'all taking idioms like that. But
What'd you call me?
An idiom.
What's up, homie? Flex.
Lame duck. An official, especially the president, in the final period of office after the election of a successor.
What?
Yeah, say that again.
An official in the final period of office after the election of a successor.
Oh, yeah. So that makes sense. That's not. I guess I was wrong on how I used that. That's not how I.
A lame duck or outgoing politician is an elected official whose successor has already been elected or will be. So it'll be like Trump whenever.
I mean, Trump technically is a lame duck right now because he's been impeached and he's just waiting out that for the next election.
That's
but it's
not
usually
what impeached means.
No, I was using it wrong. The lame duck thing. I thought it meant something more,
Also,
just like
You also use impeached wrong.
what? How so?
'Cause that's not what impeached means. Impeached doesn't mean he loses his job. That's a different kind of impeachment.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like getting written up. There's different levels. You get a write-up, impeachment. There's a point where you can get a write-up, but it's also your termination is the result. Also an impeachment. But no, he doesn't.
I didn't use that wrong.
He didn't just lose his job. It's not like it's gone. Yeah, you did. You said he just got a write-up. That doesn't mean that he's out of a job waiting for somebody else.
He was still impeached. I didn't say anything else. I just said he was impeached.
You said that was the result or the reason for his whatever you said, which is wrong.
Justin, that's no argument.
It is an argument. Absolutely. If I remembered how you worded it,
It's the other thing that you said that was wrong that I thought was wrong, but it's not an argument, Justin. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I didn't say nothing different, but he got impeached. And that's true. He got impeached.
True. That is true.
And that's all I said.
It's crazy.
And it's not common for even presidents to get impeached at this level. It's almost maybe the first time I think that a president has been impeached and not left office. I don't know if there is another example of that. I don't think.
That's because, again, that's not what impeached means. And absolutely, Bill Clinton.
No, he was like fully impeached, I thought.
No, he got impeached. He went and he completed his term.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Who became president in his wake?
George
Nobody.
W.
No, that was the next elected president. There was no president in between that. The only other president impeached before then was goddamn something like 19 something, and that dude was impeached and lost his job because it was that kind of. It was like you were stealing from the company impeachment.
Yeah.
So it was like stealing from the company kind of write up. They still give you a write up technically, but you get terminated when you get it. But they have to write it up. That's what an impeachment is in a job sense. Of course, there's more to it because there's more to the position. But essentially, that's what it is because you can't get a write-up. There's no boss above you to give you some write-up.
Well,
so what you get is an impeachment.
Is the impeachment.
That's what it is. You get a write-up from the impeachment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you lose your job. Have you ever got a write-up at your job before? Raise your hand if you have. They used to have a three write-up limit, and I got 3. That was my last job too. Fuck him. Shout out to Ben though. That was my dude, and he held me down. My guy.
All right, so this is presidents who were impeached. Andrew Johnson, impeached February 1868, acquitted May 1868. Bill Clinton, 1998, 1999, and then Trump is after that.
Yeah, not common.
Presidents who subjected to an impeachment process who resigned before it ended. Nixon.
Yeah, because.
Then we have a couple that are presidents who, after a formal investigation, were not impeached. John Tyler, James Buchanan, Harry S. Truman, and Ronald Reagan. And there was a couple that impeachment resolutions were introduced, but no actions were taken. I don't know. Obama had that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What's also crazy is everything going on with the fucking mail. Like
Yeah,
USPS.
that's wild.
That is wild.
Oh, I feel like Steven's about to go off.
No, I'm not about to go off on nothing.
Oh, man. You just had that face.
It's just sad. It's just sad that we see some blatant attacks upon, like, some of our freedoms. And I think the Postal Service is an opportunity for change, but not in the way that they are proposing.
Okay.
Like there's one of the Bernie Sanders bills I think he introduced that got squashed, of course, is to run our postal system the same way as it is now, but adding a banking system to it. So people can have low-cost banking at a federal level that's always guaranteed. You know, they can go to banks. They don't get the fees. They don't have all the other things for just having a simple bank account. This is established across the world, you know, in a lot of places where they might have, I think Canada had transitioned their system into something like that, and having like a national bank where people can like save money or put their money when it's harder to do that in privatized banks, because all our banks are private, right? And so you have fees, you have all these like rules on checking accounts, all this other shit. And so there's really simple banking you can set up through like that. And then the postal service is already set up essentially to be that hub everywhere, right? So you just add that same service into it, and then you add in the revenue of banking, which is investment. When people put your money into a bank, that bank then takes all that money, every bit you get to it, and then they put it in investments, and then they pay you out on like their daily cash if you take out money, right? But the bank works by people giving them money, and they take all that money, and and so if you can then you don't privatize that, because then that money is just going to, it's just a nonprofit organization going to those employees and all that, because it's a federally run system and it can work out really well. But this is a very like socialist thing that people are afraid of here. But even realizing that it's on trial right now, that the postal service is a socialist idea and a socialist fucking part of our country, and so it's an easy attack against that, where we see attacks against that. Healthcare is also a socialist thing, where, you know,
should be, at least.
I mean, we have the bits of it, right? We have Medicare, Medicaid, but those are social as we get with Medicare or with healthcare, but we should have more, but we don't. So we're seeing the stresses on that, but it comes across the board through all this shit. Damn, you fucking left me right here. Damn. All right. Ask me another question. Yeah.
I haven't drank beers in goddamn how many weeks? Fuck, I just have slammed like 8 of them.
10. This guy's drinking fish beers. You got to be nice to him.
The fish beers. Yeah. No, actually, this Happy Camper is really good though. I like
the Happy Camper is really good, and I like it because it sits in that nice realm of West Coast IPA, which West Coast IPA was the IPAs that you might have started drinking right when you started drinking, because you're pretty young. So you got more of the hazy, the sweeter, the like more balanced, where West Coast IPA is more about like hop bitterness and like kind of upfront, like low malt, high hop kind of like intensity. And this one is not crazy intense. The Happy Camper is not over the top, but it's really smooth. Excuse me. Not a lot of malt, but enough there to back up the bitterness. So there's just enough sweetness to back up that bitterness in there. And it's why I really love it is because it has that wateriness that it's really drinkable. You can slam that shit and it's not hard because it's not too carbonated. It just, I mean, they kill that beer. It deserves the label that it has. This motherfucking beer is great. It's not like a big hot bomb either, though. Like, you're not going to get a crazy fucking like pine cone rush of smelling trees and shit. It's just a nice, really, I feel like in this day and age, you would even call this like a pale ale, you know? But you can call beer whatever the fuck you want, as long as it like rides in the parameters on top of your recipe and like the numbers it should kick out. But
I'm going to call this beer.
This conversation over here talking about the parameters. Go ahead.
This is John. He said I can call it whatever the fuck I want. This is John.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
This is a beer made in the style of John Modello. It's my cousin, actually.
So I have a question for you guys.
Answer.
This whole quarantine, I've been listening to a bunch of Radiolab.
Hell yeah.
You bringing up like Medicare and like Obamacare and all that just kind of brought back. They went into like how that kind of was pushed through. It was based off of like the story off of some farmers back in like a while ago, and then them not wanting to do like trade with growing their own corn above like the certain limit, and then the U.S. government coming in and being like, no, you can't do that, because if you're growing your own corn, you aren't buying from other people.
Corn is fucking wild in our country, dude.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. So my question is just what have you guys been listening to, watching to stay entertained during quarantine or Rona season?
I mean, lots. Man, I've been listening to a lot of Chapo.
Chapo Trap House.
Been listening to a lot of True and On regularly. Y'all know about that one. That's one. I mean, I've told y'all about that one. You should listen to it, but it's too much for some people. It's a little conspiracy theory for some people.
Yeah, I'm cool.
See, that's what I mean. It's too much for some folk. It's too much.
Cool.
Can't handle the truth.
I've been listening to some business joints. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. That's it. I ain't been watching nothing.
I've been watching some stuff. Started 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 again. That's a good show.
Oh, that's a good one.
My friends, my brother out in Philly tells me I gotta watch the Avatar series before
my God,
the
yeah.
new one came out today, I guess, on Netflix. The next like evolution of it. So
Don't
we're
watch
trying to
that
catch up so that we can watch all this. Because Liam already watched Avatar. Like we were gonna watch together. This dude fucking ran through it without me, fucking jerk. And then my
that's
brother in
great.
Philly was like, "We gotta watch it." So I'm like, "Cool." And I just finished also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I don't know if I talked to y'all about that, but that's like a Marvel ABC spinoff thing that's fucking tight. And I've been watching it for years, and it just finished its final season yesterday. Well, it came out on Wednesday night. I watched it on Hulu yesterday, which is like a 2-part final series. It was fucking badass. Way better than Game of Thrones finish. It was humble and like simple and good. So if you're an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, definitely recommend the last few seasons. They went all out on that shit. And the ending is good. It's good. It's like wholesome and like solidifying like the way you want to show on fucking the American broadcast company to end a show, you know?
Have you guys ever seen How I Met Your Mother? Or
Yeah.
no,
Well,
Parks
I
and
love
Rec.
How I
My
Met Your
bad.
Mother. What'd you say?
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I know of
Parks and Rec
seen
10
an
times better
episode
than
of
How
it.
I Met Your Mother.
The way they had ended
Fine.
Parks and Rec, and I don't want to spoil anything, but like I
Spoil it. It's been over for fucking years. That
Yeah, go ahead,
season has been
spoil it. I ain't
over for
watching that
years.
shit.
just the final episode did something that I've been wanting like every show ever to do, which is it takes place in the like where they are currently and then in the future. So they go back into like the office, and then like they start going through it, talk to a character, and then show like 10 years in the future, like how their life is, and then talk to another character, and then
that's
it's
cool.
It's just like if
You know
it's a
who's
good
one of the
conclusion.
stars of that show, right? In the Community?
Huh?
Donald Glover. He's in there for, I think, not the whole thing.
Parks and Rec?
Or not Parks and Oh, shit.
no.
I'm thinking of Community.
Yeah,
Parks and
I
Rec.
fuck with Community heavy. What the fuck? Get out of here, boy. I showed you Community.
You didn't show me Community.
Oh, yeah. I put you on game, boy.
You had not put me on
yeah.
nothing.
Hell yeah.
You haven't
I
put me
sent
on
you a letter.
nothing.
I sent you a letter.
I
In
said,
Florida,
boy, a letter. I
Justin
said,
fucking
Dear Steven,
he
check out
he had a
this
typewriter.
cool ass- Look, I said, Dear Steven, click, ... Check out this cool ass motherfucking show I done found. It's called Community. You gonna love it. It's also got Childish Gambino. Just in case you didn't already want to see it, holla at your peoples. Signed, dialect.
The follow-up email letter was, Dear Steven, I wrote you, but you ain't calling.
But what?
But you still ain't calling.
Yeah.
I left myself, my pager, and my home phone at the
The
bottom.
bottom.
Is that some Eminem?
Yeah, Stan. No, you brought up Avatar. I watched that recently. I watched like episodes when I was like little, but like whenever they were on TV, man, that show was good.
That's what my homies keep telling me.
show
They're
was
like, no,
good.
Stevie, you understand. You got to see it all because like I caught some episodes while I was watching them. And I was like, oh, this shit's cool. It's cool. I fuck with some of this shit. And they're like, no, you don't understand. The storyline is like next level. And we got to watch it before this chorus shit comes out. Because it's going to be next level. And so far it is. But like, I think they're just playing to my sensibilities and how much I like this kind of shit. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it.
The character arcs in it are really well. Humor isn't forced or anything like that. It just kind of hits well. And one of the things that I really like is that so the show is based off of like the 4 nations: earth, fire, wind, and water. And every nation is built off of culture around the world. And then they dove deep into like the architecture, like the cultures and everything like that. And one of the things that I really like is like the specific bending that they do, which is like what they call control.
That's like their art form, their martial art.
Yeah.
Like each of those elements has their martial art that can manipulate that element, right? So the firebenders can fucking make fire.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
airbenders
yeah, yeah.
can.
So all
bend
of
it.
that is based off of like specific martial arts that are like around the world. Like man, I can't think of them right now. Like real life martial arts. And then what the animators did was that
Are you fucking
drink
kidding?
more
guy?
water. Drink more water.
Are you fucking kidding? He's in the middle of a goddamn. Are you
just keep drinking? Just keep
fucking
drinking.
kidding me, guy? Fucking guy. Are you fucking kidding me, guy? Are you fucking kidding me? Stop! Stop! It's disgusting now. I'm gonna throw up. Stop. Stop. Oh my god, that was the worst thing that's ever happened on the show. Is the show over yet? You done fucked it all up. You fucked me up.
Oh, that's
No, I really did get disgusting there for a second.
Oh my!
I felt like
gosh.
I was drowning. God damn.
I feel hydrated.
But yeah, the martial arts the animators actually learn the martial arts so that they can animate it more like actual.
I didn't know any of this.
Dude, no, like the background of it is fucking incredible, and then just story arcs.
So y'all ain't talking about the aliens?
We're talking about fucking Avatar.
I saw this shit, but like I didn't
I was talking about Avatar the aliens.
didn't
boy.
see that much.
Oh, Avatar, that movie, like James Cameron.
And the fact that they're making
Avatar.
that they've been cleared for 3 follow-up movies.
Hell yeah,
3?
so we have to-
More?
Yeah.
Why?
I
Because
don't
it's
know.
the best fucking movie of all time, boy.
Also, second highest grossing movie, I believe, compared to.
Have you seen Blood In, Blood Out?
Yeah, great movie, great film. Top 3 maybe.
You really put Avatar over Blood In, Blood Out?
Nah, it's probably top 10.
Okay, good, because I would really
Maybe
lose
top
some
15.
respect for you
Top
as
15.
Justin Romero. If
No,
you
top
told
3.
me that
I'm
Avatar
gonna tell you
is better
what.
than
You,
Blood In,
look,
Blood Out.
I don't know what number 1 is. I don't know number 1. I ain't a motherfucking movieologist, but I'll tell you right now.
Movieologist.
I'll tell you right now that top 3 right now. 1, 2, 3. Top 3 in no particular order. La Bamba.
Okay,
Remember the Titans.
okay. Denzel Washington.
I take that back. Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, fucking Joe Pesci in that motherfucker.
Johnny Dangerously.
Johnny Dangerously.
That's the way it go, boy.
If
don't know
I
what
just
else to tell
gotta
you.
give 3 movies, all right. Our Brother, Where Art Thou? Fucking love that shit.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's top 5, boy. Maybe top 10. Maybe top 15. I don't
This
know.
is not a good movie, but I fucking love it, and I don't even like that I love it, but Joe Dirt.
Oh, Joe Dirt.
And then
I am mad at Joe Dirt.
And then fucking, I mean, Ip Man 1.
Oh, that's the one. Yep, I know that one. Never synced it.
And there's I would say top 3, no particular order. Those 3, those are movies that I just fucking love. No matter what, I love those movies. I could watch them. I could not watch them. I could watch part of it, not watch part of it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to watch them and love all those movies.
Hell yeah.
That would be my top 3.
Hell yeah, I ain't
Like I
mad
said,
at that at all.
Joe Dirt is not one that I'm proud of, but son of a gun, every time I see it or every time I watch it, I'm just like, it fucking makes me smile and laugh out loud. And there's not a lot of things that make me laugh out loud. What's been making you laugh out loud? Like literally,
Me, I'm pretty funny, boy. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, that's your fucking narcissism just getting a hold of yourself. But
There, by you go.
almost November, ain't it?
It is almost November. Fuck, November hates me, y'all, just in case you didn't know. Google that, November hates me. You know what's tight is that if you search Death by Ego now, you'll find shit, right? Other motherfuckers have used that since I did it. But if you search November hates me, it's real specific to me. And if you search dreams, caffeine, and nicotine, it's pretty specific to me. Other shit will come up because you're running three words together. So, you know, but I show up pretty quick. And that was a gang ago.
That was a gang ago. That Dreams, Caffeine, and Nicotine shit came out. Golly, I think I was in
speaking
college.
of nicotine, you got a cigarette?
Sure do.
I don't want one anyways. I'm just talking shit.
Yeah, I thought so.
So, where we at on time, Eric?
About time.
About time.
Is it about that time?
About time.
Because I feel like it's about that time, man. I feel like I don't know what it was, my man. I feel like maybe Sitting Bull behind me gave me a little zap of neon and told me that it's time to pull this up. You have anything before we wrap up you want to talk about in episode 22?
I do. Yeah, I just want to give a good condolence and like shout out to Michael Brooks. A lot of you guys, I don't even think y'all know too much about Michael Brooks. I sent y'all when this happened that about a week ago he ended up with a blood clot and fucking went to his brain. He died. But Michael Brooks has been a voice on the far left, the left for years, has been a podcaster, interviewer, writer, all this shit, journalist, all this shit. Amazing. And just fucking like dropped out of this earth like way too soon. Monumental person. I mean, like somebody that fucking Lula, and if anybody listening knows who Lula is, had to fucking give a shout out to Michael Brooks when he died. And like that's international shit where it's on the left and it's not a lot of people know who he was, but he was a really important person in terms of making the voice of the left heard and making the voice of the left like really move towards something that we can all see, not just like crazy radical people, not even crazy, but just radical people like myself and the listeners of things like, or socialists and communists of those kind of like publications. And I mean, it was one of those deaths that like hurts, you know. When that recently anniversary came up was Robin Williams when he died. That shit hurt. That was like one of the first celebrities I remember that shit being like, damn, it was like something I felt like I lost. Mm-hmm. And Michael Brooks leaving was like, and I wasn't even that like ingrained in Michael Brooks like discography. I just had discovered him from other veins of people who introduced me to him, and that he was a part of something that I've loved for years. It was just like, fuck. And then he just mysteriously died. Like I said, it was a blood clot that was in his leg, and then within like hours, it fucking moved to his brain and killed him.
It's awful. R.I.P. You know what? And I don't know who Michael Brooks is, but I'll tell you that is it's a reminder, man, of something that I try to keep in mind often. I don't know how often motherfuckers do this, and maybe when you hear it, you think it's cliche, but I think most people could maybe would probably do good with a little more dose of understanding and realizing like how quickly that could have been like your own life is just going, and then all of a sudden, boom! Like that's the joint. Like
he was 37.
37 years old. I'm 33, boy. That's in
32.
4 years. I'm like, you talking about 4 years from now? Some shit. Like I'm just chilling, and all of a sudden something happened in my leg. I try to go to the doctor before anything even happened. I fucking die. Like, and that's, I'm sure you could predict it with blank or woo-de-woo if you would have knew ahead of time this and that. But in reality, there's no predicting. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that
He's
shit.
a healthy dude.
And motherfuckers don't know. And I think we all walk around. I feel like even the most humble people walk around hella entitled to life. Like they feel entitled to breathing. Like breathing is some shit that they deserve so much that they forget how fucking crazy it is that you're breathing and how quickly that motherfucker could be out. And I don't mean to be on no fucking weird let's lecture the motherfuckers shit, but man, if you're one of those motherfuckers that's running around complaining, if you have not worried about if you're gonna die lately, you're entitled to life. And I don't mean that because like, oh, I'm healthy because this, that. Like, I get it. Cool. Be healthy. Healthy don't mean shit if you're driving down the street and get T-boned by the wrong drunk motherfucker and RIP you. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, it could be anything in the world. Motherfuckers die tripping over dishwashers. They got knives sticking out of them. Like, yo, it could be anything, right? Healthy don't got nothing to do with it. I'm talking about just thinking about if you haven't worried about death sometime recently, you're just entitled to life, and you should take a second to remember that, you know, it could be a blood clot in your leg, or it could be, you know what I'm saying, a growth in your heart, or taking pills with alcohol, or all kinds of weird things that'll fuck a motherfucker up.
With that said, don't fucking waste that time that you got. And I think that's LRVT up in here.
Thank you, motherfucker, listening first and foremost. I don't know how this is going to end up being put together, but Eric will figure it out. We appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Continuing to listen to us. If you're listening to us by now, that means that I'm sure you've listened to some other podcasts. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe on whatever you're listening to, especially and including Apple Podcasts, Google. We got Spotify's on there. Do all that shit, but Apple Pod, you know what I'm saying? Jump in there and make sure you review us as well. 5 stars, you know, just say word or something tight. You know, say it's the Lone Ranger versus Tonto up in this hole as your comment.
HEUX.
HEAUX is how you spell hoe. HEAUX.
Ain't trying to get flagged.
You know, you don't want to get flagged, so it's the Lone Ranger versus Tonto up in this hoe. And we appreciate y'all listening, man. Thank you so much. We're gonna have some more episodes for you. We're gonna do this for as long as we motherfucking can, because I really like to. Not because we're making money, not because but if anybody wanna help us, I think Steven got a Patreon or something coming. So holla at him, motherfucker. Peace.
Or just throw money at my OnlyFans.